I just went through Carolina having probably one of the biggest meltdowns in like college basketball history. So
Did they make it to the tournament or no? Wait, no, they didn't because
no,
I didn't see them anywhere on the bracket. I just filled mine
yeah,
out.
no,
Who you got winning?
I don't know. I haven't really looked.
I think I have UConn with the upset win, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think I have UConn taking it all this year.
I don't like this new following thing. Oh, okay. This is just how it is.
You know what I do like?
Hmm.
TSM getting absolutely mollywopped in a 40-minute banger. I can't lie though, like I was shitting bricks for a while there.
I was gonna say you can't say we got mollywopped. It
In
wasn't
the
a mollywop.
no.
You were totally nervous. I know you
Oh,
were.
I was sweat. Like you can see the videos that I posted on Twitter. I'm sitting there with like jacket up like this from the 15-minute mark on. Like I'm
Yep.
sitting there counting like every time double listen lane, just counting CS. Did he hit all of his CS? I need him to get to Infinity Edge. And every back, just waiting. Damn it, he didn't get IE yet. Damn it, he didn't get LDR because Aurelion Soul was a freaking problem.
Yep.
So I was just sitting there like, oh God, don't let him die. Don't let him die. And thank God we didn't. Thank God.
So now what? TSM needs CLG to lose.
Let me pull up the schedule because I'm not 100% certain. You need some help to get in now. So, standings wise, you guys are one game behind us and CLG, but you do not hold the tiebreaker over us. We automatically get in over you
Yep.
because of the 2-0 record.
Yep.
You guys play Dignitas and FlyQuest. CLG plays Team Liquid and C9. So CLG is like guaranteed one loss minimum.
And EG lost today.
Yeah, and EG
Oh
lost today.
no.
Dude, I'm telling you, upper brackets in the realm for 100 Thieves right now. It is 100% possible. We play EG tomorrow.
Not really.
Yeah, it is. What do you mean no it isn't?
I said not really, because I think EG beats one of the two of you between you and Team Liquid.
Upper bracket is 4th place, my friend.
Oh yeah, because
Golden Guardians
BGS.
plays FlyQuest tomorrow. If they
Yeah,
lose,
that's
then
true.
we're
You guys
tied
do
with
have a
them.
shot.
We have a tiebreaker with Golden Guardians, I believe.
I see it now. Yeah.
Wait, shit. What's our record against Golden Guardians? Did we steal the win early on in the season? Because I know we lost the... Okay, so Golden Guardians beat us
Oh
in
no,
like
I
week
feel like
2.
EG will be better. So what I need really, realistically, is we need TSM to beat Dig. Then we need Cloud9 to beat CLG and EG to beat Team Liquid.
FlyQuest. Wait, I need to pull up the LCS Spring Split 2023. I need to pull up the tiebreaker because I think we're 0-2 against Golden
And we're
Guardians.
2-0 against Team Liquid. So I'd rather CLG lose 2 in a row. So I need
No,
TL to beat CLG tomorrow. And then I need C9 to beat CLG.
we are
Man, if CLG would have blown that game today, it would have been great.
we are 1-1 against Golden Guardians. So all we have to do is beat EG tomorrow. And
Yep.
FlyQuest beats Golden Guardians and it is in
Yeah.
our hands to play a tiebreaker for upper bracket.
Yep.
Hang on, Coco dropped her ball in the tub. Coco, you son of a bitch.
Although FlyQuest does seem beatable for Golden Guardians at this point. Oh, well, you're gone. I was saying FlyQuest does seem beatable for
Oh,
GGS
everybody
at this
but
point.
C9 seems beatable right now.
Yeah.
Like, okay, granted, EG's playing from home because Jojo Puna's sick, so I'm willing to write off EG right now. Like, even if we beat EG tomorrow, I don't feel great about it. But FlyQuest is faltering. Golden Guardians is faltering. Like,
Did EG look terrible today? Because I had to turn it off.
I didn't watch, unfortunately. I was doing interviews pretty much the entire. I got a Wild Turtle and a Busio interview after today's game.
Nice.
Dude, I don't know how Wild Turtle does it. He was
What?
smiling still after the game, but he was like pissed smiling. You
I
could
mean,
like
for him though, he's been in this so long. You know what I mean?
it. It was funny though. Like you could tell he wanted to flame a little bit,
Well,
but was holding
they.
back.
I hate the Zaya pick, kinda.
I,
I don't know. I don't like Zaya, but I also feel like clearly that's not the problem. Like Solo and Chime just blowing R's all the time randomly all game was really weird, and Solo just literally threw the game. Like I don't
yeah.
think you can put that game on anyone, but well,
I
yeah,
I
you
I
can put it
I
on
throw a
Solo and
chime.
Chime
Yeah,
pretty hard.
the
Yeah,
two of them threw it pretty bad because Maple was playing incredibly well in Aurelion Soul. He was
Maple
annoying.
and Turtle and it felt like Boogie were fine. I went to Reddit and it was weird. There was a guy like going on and on how Boogie is the only issue, and I was like, bro, how do you watch that game and you're like Boogie is a pro? I was like, Chime and Solo were literally, dude, they were trying out of their mind. If there isn't ankle weights on the team,
Yep.
they were trying to put them on them. They were like, you want to see me do it again? And everyone was like, no, I really don't want to see you just press R and use Shirilias when
And
nobody's
die.
there
And
again.
whenever everybody's got
Yeah,
flash up, they immediately flash out and kill you. It's like, oh
yeah,
man, it was so. It like here's the thing though. I know you don't like the Zaya pick. I like the Zaya Rakan duo
true.
in the right settings. Like when it's used to play aggro, I like it. Like
Mm,
whenever you're using Zaya Rakan as a lane bully, that's fine. When you're using it as like a I don't want to die, play passive and scale,
mhm.
then it's like cuz like e- every minute of that game, like the only two people that you're watching as time goes on are Doublelift and Maple.
Yep,
Because Zaya's going to get outscaled heavily by Jinx.
yep,
Aurelion Sol's the only one that can do anything, and you are entirely reliant upon Rakan to set up that knock or to set up the group
yeah.
ultimate for Aurelion Sol.
And
At that point, Zaya is more or less irrelevant other than just pumping out some additional damage.
I think that was a good cracking game.
Oh,
I don't know
I
if I liked
agree.
him going what he went there. He went the
The
dash
Gale
item. I
Force.
forget the name. Yeah, Gale.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I like it. When I saw him go that, I honestly was like, I don't know if I like our chances as time goes on. Like,
You go Gale Force if you truly have like if you have anybody other than Aurelion Sol, I think you go Gale Force and you try and slam that lane early. But
yeah,
because they had the Aurelion Soul and they had a lot of options to just scale and do damage into a Scion, into a beefy Annie, into what was Busio playing? Renata's not all that tanky, but you have a lot of shielding there as well. Like that would have made a difference. That I agree with
I
you. I
think,
like it.
yeah, I think he should, because you got to kill the Scion. That's really it. If you can get rid of the Scion, that game changes a lot, at least. And you can't give the Jinx time to stack.
Yep.
And they did that. It was tough. But
Let's also be
that's
honest.
life.
Bjergsen also gave you guys some lifelines early.
Erickson gave
Bjergsen,
us a lot of life, and so was Tenacity.
Tenacity had some
Tenacity was
moments.
giving us some moments
That
too.
that level 1 TP.
Yep.
Oh god, even Busio was flaming him in the interview. It's like, dude, what?
Yeah. I don't know. It was just disappointing, I guess. But being disappointed is all I've had for the past 3 months from sports. So I'm
The
in this
thing,
point where I can just eat it.
you guys are still in it though. Like, there's still a very good chance for you, assuming that you can get the win over Dignitas tomorrow and CLG drops their game.
Getting a phone call. 1 sec.
Go right ahead. For chat, I must say, feels pretty damn good. I like. Here's the thing. I know people might want to get upset with the early game of 100 Thieves, but the difference between us this week and 2 weeks ago is that we would have lost this game had it been 2 weeks ago. We would have gotten behind early and just fell apart. And you can tell we're coming together better as a team. We are team fighting better, and Tenacity, Busio, and Closer are on much better of a page in terms of their engagements because a 40-minute banger like that was just not possible a few weeks ago.
No. You think that the March announcement comes if we don't make playoffs?
I have no maybe. I have no clue what your March announcement is.
I
I'm
don't
so
either.
lost.
Everyone's been memeing March, and then today somebody finally posted like a thread saying like, "Hey, not like joking. Are we just not doing anything at this point?" Like, like basically begging Reggie to say something because it's like, "Hey man, this sucks. Like
Yeah.
we're sad," and people are like, "Can you please respond?"
And his answer is going to be no.
Yeah, he's like, "Nah, sounds tough."
Oh,
He's
man.
just like, yeah, he's like, "That sucks. Sorry,
I feel bad too.
sorry,
Also,
life's that hard."
shout out to the fine marketing folks over at TSM that sent us all the stuff for the watch party last week. It was a blast. I know a bunch of people enjoyed getting a bunch of free swag, and it was great. That's separate from what Paul's talking about right now. I just wanted to make that very clear before any of them potentially here doesn't just think that we're flaming them.
Oh yeah, yeah, but they, I would say like now you're. I mean, one, this is like I don't know. It's like a lot of super weeks usually where it's super hype now because
Yeah.
everything's lining up. There's still a ton of tiebreaker potential, but it's also like kind of a crazy week because at this point it just seems like this is a C9 league until they decide it's not.
I asked Busio if he thinks that C9 is beatable, and he said yeah. He said they are like somebody can take them in a best of 5. So we'll see.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
just
know who that somebody is.
as of right now, I don't know yet either. They are just too good.
I guess you'd have to hope that like M&S has crippling stage
Stage
fright
fright in
on
front of like 10K people.
yeah
Yeah.
in front of 10K people. Like I don't know.
I'll be honest
Like,
with you. I know this is gonna sound troll. I know I've said this before and it sounded dumb, but I'm believing it more and more now. I truly think there's only one team that can beat C9 on stage, and that's
oh,
100 Thieves.
okay.
I really like I've seen enough from FlyQuest to see them crumbling a little bit, and their fans will never be able to keep up with Cloud9. Cloud9 is going to have the most amount of jerseys in the stadium. That is the case at every single event. The only two people that can possibly keep up with that are Doublelift and Bjergsen. That's not even a 100 Thieves thing. That is just like a pure numbers point of view. The only way that you can possibly get a crowd advantage against Cloud9 is with those two. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Like, tell me any other roster is going to get the same, that's going to equal out fan chance to Cloud9. You had your headset off. So I'll repeat. Tell me any LCS team that's not TSM that stands a chance whatsoever at equalizing the C9 crowd chance in North Carolina. Not TSM. God damn it.
Nobody. I mean, but who? None of them need to. Well, TL
No, God,
maybe.
no.
Does TL have fan? I
No,
feel like they do.
TL's fans were all Double It fans.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not saying they haven't grown a fan
I
base, but
don't
like
know if you
it's
guys
not
do
a.
though. Do
I
you?
don't. I don't think we do either. I'm just saying we're the closest.
And I honestly, I hate to say this, but I don't think we do.
No, I like Cloud9. Like for people
Because
that
really, right now, they're the only team that of the old guard with the big fan following still wins a lot.
yeah.
So they're probably the only one who can't. Like at this point, C9 has all the like the bandwagon people are probably still sticking around because they're still winning. They're not too far gone. Like they should be fine.
It's like I don't know. I agree. Had it EG had Danny and Jojo Pune, maybe. But like Jojo Pune doesn't have the same appeal that Danny does. Danny was the crowd
No,
favorite out of everybody, if we're being completely honest. And the whole like org side thing that's happened has turned a lot of people sour. Even though I think the majority of people that go to finals, I don't know if they're gonna know nor care about that. But I still don't think it.
I feel like in North Carolina they will. There cannot be a big League of Legends population in North Carolina.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
NC State has teams. UNC has teams.
Oh,
Granted, I know it's college campuses, but the point is that you have a lot of young people that know about games.
it's good.
And if the
I
LCS
was
is
just wasn't
smart,
sure.
they've had posters up everywhere around those campuses.
Hmm.
I pray to God that somebody's been down there laying in the groundwork of just making sure that all the colleges in the area know about this so that they can show up because it's at a good
Yep.
time for them. People are coming back from spring break. Everybody's going to be back on campus. March Madness is going to be over at that point, and neither Duke, UNC, NC State, Wake Forest, like none of them are going to be there. Duke's going to drop out in the Sweet 16, so they'll be fine by April. Like I if you are not putting in the groundwork for these college campuses and getting every single college kid that's there out there, then you've failed.
Call up Bud Light. Reopen the sponsorship. Make this a party. I want my crowd to be losing their minds because they don't know where they are.
Exactly.
That's the best
Yes.
kind of fun.
It is. It
Make it a
is.
party.
You
I
can't
vote
tell
that.
me. You can't tell me that
You
Captain Flowers and Kangas couldn't be out there shotgunning beers and doing keg stands with fans and
game
just getting them
game
nuts.
2, just in case it's a 3-0 curb stop. Game 2, we need to have an EDM festival just mid game. No clue who it is. Pick a DJ and bring him in. Have somebody who can light a party up.
A mini thon, in a way, for those that know Penn State and know what thon is.
Oh, okay. I was like, I have no idea.
It's basically like a 24-hour party thing that they do up at Penn State. They do it in like the basketball
Ah,
stadium, and you get people to sponsor however long you're there, and you like sign in and out with your student ID, and then they'll pay a certain amount of. It's
that's
all
what we
raised
need.
for like cancer research.
We need like one of those. Just go crazy. Bring somebody in. Like I don't know who
No, I
for
don't
20
want.
minutes.
I don't want Kangas dressed as Star Guardian. I want Kangas in a pair of chubbies and no shirt on, just going out and chugging beer. I'm telling you because
Sure.
I lived in North Carolina. I know these people. I
Stone
know
cold.
they just want beer and a good time, which is like most college kids. But like North Carolina culture, like
It's well,
it,
you gotta remember too. Like North Carolina culture is built around college basketball.
yeah.
Like so, they're exactly what you say. College basketball is the definition of getting drunk and just screaming at the
And
top of your lungs.
doing anything you can to fuck up the other team. It doesn't
Yep.
matter if even if cameras are there, you'll have people trying to moon players when they're shooting free throws. It doesn't fucking matter. So
And
if
just
you
raw hate.
exactly you bring that to the stage, fuck
Yep.
Cloud9. Get everybody. Oh god, dude, I want to be there so bad. You have no idea.
And they're college kids. Like college kids are kind of psychos. Like I'm sure you could get half the crowd there to still chant EG,
Oh my god.
regardless of current public situation.
You could get the entire crowd to chant Dignitas with how drunk they'll be.
Yeah.
Like
Now, granted, I'm not saying I support getting belligerently drunk. I don't want people to take this out of context and
yes.
say I'm saying we need to get everyone belligerently drunk.
Yes.
I'm just saying we're here to have a good time
Yep.
for a little bit of a time. And I also want to make clear on my word, I don't drink because I'm not allowed to here. So I need some people to live it out for me right now. I need somebody to get the party rolling.
Oh man. It just feels good. It feels really, really freaking good.
Like cause the thing, like low key, if you could get Tobacco Road rolling, like it would be so electric.
It'd be
Like
nuts.
Tobacco Road is in a psych ward. I mean, for people who don't know, like their basketball rivalries are so crazy. Like when a game ends, you just assume that the main street of any of the campuses is gonna be shut down. Like
Hell, even in the
it's
towns
shut
around
down.
it, it's like that. Like
Yep.
everything stops when the games are on. Like life
Yeah.
just pauses. Like there's a die-hard level fandom down there that is ripe to be tapped into.
Yep. And they're all gonna become C9 fans because of the color with UNC,
I know
and it's gonna make me sad.
that's the problem. The baby blue plays in. Like if I'm C9 and I'm releasing a special edition spring finals jersey that is Tar Heel color. Like partner, like
Oh yeah.
see if you could partner with UNC or some shit and just do like a C9 baby blue like North Carolina thing.
Yep.
Oh, you get so many people riled up.
You call it Carolina blue instead of baby blue, you would have the place going nuts.
Oh my god, yeah. Dude, it's
You
getting
don't like you just go Carolina blue, baby, and you walk in there, they'll go crazy.
why are we
But
not in the marketing department
and
for
then
the
EG,
LCS?
low key EG, if they make finals, because I feel like it's them or like
Them,
Fly.
yeah, them FlyQuest or maybe outside chance like
Maybe you guys,
Guardians
yeah,
and or 100 Thieves.
yeah. Like them and TL can do uh what is it, a Duke color?
Like yeah,
Like they could easily do
the
that royal
Duke
blue.
Royal Blue. Yeah.
Yeah. Both of them could do royal blue. I don't know what the rest could do. You guys could do Wolfpack easy.
Oh yeah,
You
we could
guys
be.
could rock a sick Wolfpack jersey.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. That fuck, man, you're making me. There's so much opportunity there, but I know nobody's gonna take it, and it's
TSM,
so
granted, we're
annoying.
probably not gonna get there,
Wake
would
Forest.
have a yep. I was gonna say dope ass Wake Forest jersey.
Oh, dude, buy it. Oh,
And this is a poll, but FlyQuest should get with UNC Wilmington. You know how
no,
fitting that
no,
would
no, no,
be?
no, no, no,
Isn't that
no.
fitting?
UNC Greensboro has like their shade of green.
You're right. You're
I
right.
know.
Or Charleston.
Nah, I think Charleston is
Oh, are
Oh,
they
what?
gold and like dark?
Yeah, I think so. I think Greensboro, I think is the one that's like dark green. Charlotte
Good.
is like a if CLG made it, UNC Charlotte would be like the great
Oh
pairing for
yeah.
them. Dude, why are we not in the marketing department helping with this
Oh
shit? That'd
yeah.
be great. Oh my god.
It'd be cool. It'd be
It'd be
funny if
so
they had a college.
oh. And the best part is if 100 Thieves made it and you did a Wolfpack jersey, like PNC Arena is not too far away from NC State's campus. Like maybe 15 minutes, I think, give or
You
take.
know, thinking about this, why aren't they doing this with a road show?
Motherfucker, I've been saying that for years.
Yeah, I just mean
I've
like
been saying
going back
that.
to our constant one. Like, wouldn't that be a sick roadshow concept? Like, you don't even have to do jerseys. Just do a T-shirt partnered with the local college. Like, bro, you could even double up. Like, if you really need to.
Yeah.
I mean, you could dump like 3 teams in one college and just do a partner T-shirt and just chuck them out there. You know how quick you'd get kids to just be like, sure, I'll cheer for this team today.
Yep. Oh, it's so smart. You have to tie it into the localization of the areas, and it would just do so well.
It would.
So, kind of shifting it back to the games a little bit because I need your help dissecting this. Uh, I will somewhat say this for stream. I don't know if I'm allowed to fully say this yet, but I will just say there's a reason why we're talking about MVP very heavily. Wink, wink. Uh, I see Mark Z and a bunch of other people talking about it, and like they're rolling it. So, I figured it would be okay to throw that out there a little bit. Um, what are your thoughts on the MVP vote right now? Because I did my list on stream yesterday, but I want to see where yours stands.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm way too uninformed to have an MVP, like actual good MVP list. But like the players I've liked the most, I guess from my, because I'm probably a casual watcher this season, unfortunately, because of work assignments. But like guys, I feel like you could easily throw up there would be like, what, Prince, JoJo's second half of the season, and just pick somebody on C9, preferably in the top side of the map.
Yeah. So as of yesterday, which I said that today would make a big difference for me, my top three were Prince, Gory, and Blabber for MVP.
That makes sense.
Today changed that a lot. uh,
Yeah, well, you
I
had wait, you said Gory?
yeah, because think about it. This is
I guess it makes sense.
a
Yeah,
split long thing. Gory has been by far and away like the best mid laner prior to MNS coming in. And
That's what I'm saying. Can we give M&S
no.
MVP for
So
half a split?
my rule is I'm not willing to give M&S MVP. I'm telling you now, if they win their final 2 games, he's getting first team All Pro for me. He deserves that. At minimum, he deserves All Pro. But I cannot give him an MVP award when he hasn't played the majority of games, because if you try and isolate the best 9 games from every player, it's a much more even ballot. Like Gory's best 9 games, his first 9 games in the LCS
It's actually a
were
good point.
were really fucking good. Prince's best 9 games for the first 9 games of the split were really goddamn good. But the problem is when you take into context the whole season, I can't. It's not fair. So I'm willing to give him All Pro,
Can you give him
but
rookie of the split? Or is that a
uh,
year thing now?
that's a year thing. That's only done in summer,
Okay.
so that's a worry for later down the line.
Which I know that would put, like, him and Prince would be the two fighting for that, but I
Well,
mean,
no, I don't think Prince could be a rookie. I think it's if you've played a season in a major region, you are not allowed
oh,
to.
really?
Yeah, any major region
Then yeah,
counts.
M&S is probably, like, gotta be.
I thought M&S has played a season in LCK,
Did
or
he?
was it just LCK Challenger?
I don't know.
Let me look it up. I'll tell you right now.
I just feel like, yeah, I agree with Cole. Like, cool, whatever's how you pronounce it. But he has a good point. Like, you could make an argument about his value. Like, how valuable he is to his team. Due to the
He
fact he came in and just propelled them to first.
he is, but they were also second without him. They were 7-2 with Diplex, and that's not like,
Were they
uh,
really?
yeah. So like,
Oh.
that's what I'm saying. Like he is
That's
playing
bad.
he is playing incredibly well, and by the way,
Damn.
it
So
looks
they're just really
like
good.
I don't think M&S has played in a major region. He was signed to King's Own Dragon X like August 2019 to October 2019.
Well, that's
But
tough. That's tough.
it's like, so yeah, I
It's got to kill your happiness
what?
that neither of your boys can even come close to.
Oh no, it doesn't. Shit, it doesn't bother me.
Rookie.
That's fine. It literally doesn't bother me at
You
all.
never responded to my comeback
What comeback?
when you sent the tweet, the tenacity tweet.
Coco.
You never responded to me calling him the placeholder.
I didn't want to respond. It didn't feel appropriate. There's too many eyes on me now. Coco, shut up. I'm curious. What do you think of this top 3? And I think
All right,
the
hit me with the new one.
Coco, shut up. Number 1, Blabber. Number 2, Fudge. Number 3, Gory.
Wait,
I
you still have Gory top 3?
I think so, because I think about individual player that is most valuable to their team, the person that that means the absolute most.
Hmm.
I would say that Gory has meant more for Golden Guardians in their success than any other individual player for a team.
Yeah, I can see it. It's just tough because like EG just has no like actual MVP candidate because they all kind of take turns being good, in my opinion. Like, so it kind of feels like you're kind of forced to go 2C9s. I kind of get what you mean. Like, kind of feels like we're forced into that 2C9 area because EG, like, well, I want to say they have an MVP, everybody kind of does their thing.
Yeah.
So there's nothing you can do there. FlyQuest, I still think Prince, I kind of have him above Gory still. But I can see what you mean by the value of Gory. Like, Gory did elevate GGS very high.
Yeah. Like Prince is good. Prince The problem is over the course of 18 games, Prince has now shown a few weaknesses, like quite a few, where
Yeah.
he just has games where he's really out of position.
I think tomorrow though we'll literally have a
That
battle between the two. That'll help.
that's the thing. Tomorrow will help a little bit in helping kind
Mhm.
of break that tie, but I don't think MVP can go to anybody that's not Fudge or Blabber at this point
And I feel
because
like River might be my fifth.
you only get 3.
I know. I was just meaning like River is somewhere in there, like working his way up my ladder
I'll tell you
a
what
lot.
since chat's mentioning it, something that the one change that I made that I thought was locked, but it apparently is not anymore. Uh, I thought Vulcan was a lock for first All Pro, but I'm putting Sven first.
I can see that. Is
I
what your first just full C9?
No, my first All Pro team. This is subject to change, but I think it's going to be Fudge, Blabber, Gory. Oh wait, shit, M&S. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put all of C9 first.
Being a voter sounds terrible. Could you imagine having
It's
to like pick between people?
it's so
Do,
hard
do,
because
do,
it's like
do, do,
Gory.
do, do.
Here's the thing, like Gory could win MVP but still not get first All Pro in my mind.
Win some all pro. Hey, Nick has a point. I'm just saying FlyQuest was number 1 with Winsome.
They were actually that's kind of a great point that I didn't even think about. If I'm willing, that's a great point. If you're willing to give M&S first All Pro for 9 games, technically doesn't that mean that
Yeah,
you
but
can?
Winsome didn't look good.
No,
There were multiple times I watched Winsome just hook a wall with Nautilus, instantly die, and then FlyQuest just win the fight anyways because they were all so good at that point. Like they were playing out of their minds.
yeah,
I am fully convinced you could have had Afromu on that squad, and they would
yeah.
have kept winning.
Support is such a toss up right now. With the problem is almost every team barring C9 that I have on this list lost today. Or like all the players that I had on this list lost, which makes the standings for playoffs phenomenally fun to watch. Makes all pro voting incredibly freaking difficult.
Mhm.
And it's like, I don't
Well,
know.
it's just hard because like this is one of those years where you have a team that's pretty dominant, so
Like,
there's
okay,
not really a lot you can give.
I feel very confident on my jungle placing, and that is Blabber number 1, Speaka number 2, River number 3. I feel very confident with that.
Poor
Like,
inspired.
I mean, I hate to say it, but EG in general has just been very up and down. The only reason I have I have 2 of their players on the list is because I think Vulcan is just one of the best supports, given the relative. What are you laughing at, Coco?
Yes, just
Taking,
killing that blanket right now.
she puts her ball underneath it, and then like she's like playing with herself in a way.
I see.
But yeah, so like jungle, I feel good about. Inspired's a little bit further back because I don't feel like anybody in EG has really been all that standout, barring Vulcan and FBI at points. Their
That's
loss
the
today really dampened it, though. Like FBI is no
yes.
longer.
That the weird thing about EG.
Yeah,
Like it feels like none of them are really like something to write home about, but they're technically top 3. So what do you do with them? Like
I don't know. It's weird.
I don't feel like and the thing is there's times where I watch EG and I'm like, bro, they're so good. Like I actually think they're so good and I'm convinced they're like the only team that's going to take C9 and push them to 5 games. And then I like watch them 2 days later and I'm like, I don't know. They're just not very good at the game, I guess. Maybe I'm the
Yeah.
fool.
I also feel good about my top ranking. Fudge Impact Sunday or someday
Makes
as of right
sense.
now. Like I think that's fair.
Yeah,
Mid lane,
that's
I've got
perfectly fine.
if This is under the assumption that C9 wins out. If C9 does not win out, this will change. I have M&S, Gory, Jojo Pion.
Yeah. If Maple won today, would he have pushed up your list?
Yeah. Actually, yeah. If TSM closed out the split strong, I'd be willing to put him over Jojo Pion. But they didn't. I don't know. The thing is, like, it all depends. If TSM crumbles down the stretch, then I don't know. Like, it's kind of hard because for every bit that Maples popped off, like, let's not forget that Jojo Pion, despite some of his inti games, has had some really hard carry early and mid games that have ushered them into some pretty easy wins.
Yep.
ADC, I have no clue what to do now.
ADC's whatever. It'll just be a crapshoot.
It's gonna be between, as of right now, Prince, Berserker, Stixay. With Stixay being solidly third, and Berserker Prince being 1-2, but I feel like I have to put Berserker.
Double lift.
No,
Double lift
no.
doesn't go
Double
anywhere.
lift had way too rough of a mid-year stretch to put him on. Don't forget, like, I know people are gonna get recency bias with 100 Thieves. No 100 Thieves players getting on this list. Their early season games didn't look phenomenal, and the mid-season games were really bad. And this is an
Although
award
Double
driven.
Lift is the best player on their team.
Yes. Well, him
Yes.
and Closer coming online. I would argue Closer is more important to their wins than Double Lift. Even though Double Lift is playing at a much higher standard, Closer is ultimately like, if he gets off good engages, we win. If he doesn't, we lose. Double Lift's just going to perform good no matter what. Or not good, but he's going to perform at a certain standard no matter what. Like, it's tough because you have to have all 18 games in consideration. It is not just a final week, even though the final week is going to be weighted a little bit more heavily than.
I mean, if they end good, Double could move up pretty far for
I
me.
could, if they.
Because Bjerg literally seems like he's not playing at times.
Yeah, and they still win.
Yeah.
In that case, let me ask you this. In a world where if a world where 100 Thieves 3-0s and secures 4 seed over Golden Guardians, do you put Closer and Double Lift on third All Pro over River and Stixay?
Probably not Closer, but I'd do Double over Stixay because I think Double Lift's early season was way better than Closer's.
Oh yeah,
so
absolutely.
Like I can take Double Lift's early season and end of season and use that to put him there. I feel like Closer had basically this whole part of the season that was just bad, and then end of the year he turned it on, and you can't give him
I agree
All
with
Pro
you.
for that, but you can give him All Pro for or you can give double All Pro.
Yeah, I agree because the first 3 weeks, granted it was against easy opponents, he was one of the best.
But he was
3.
doing his job. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. It was whenever they played FlyQuest the first time around, it was the whole like Double Lift versus Prince, who's going to be the best ADC in the LCS.
Yep.
Like that was a legitimate conversation. Granted, it fell off in the middle, and Double Lift falling off was a portion of that because
he was also getting 4 banned.
True.
Like that stretch where they were losing. Like Double was the only guy teams were targeting, and they were going bot lane, and they were ganking bot lane until Double Lift gave in. Like,
you're not
it
wrong.
was, I don't know, but
I just want to avoid I
know people think it's biased, but it's not. In my opinion, it's just like what he's done. It's a body of work.
I don't care about people saying the bias part on like a vote for Double Lift there. The part that I'm legitimately worried about is putting all of C9 on first All Pro.
Yeah.
I'm worried about it because honestly, you have to.
You gotta pick someone better than somebody. So if nobody's better, then it's just is what it is.
Berserker. I think you take
Like
Berserker over Prince right now.
I don't. My thing is like it's not like LEC. There was clearly two people who you could put. Like you could have put all a G2, all pro
Yeah.
first team, but there was two options you had. Like with well, I kind of think Jungle. What's his name? Got first team all pro. Mad Lions guy.
Oh, not Elyoya.
Elyoya.
Yeah, Elyoya.
He got first team because I think he's Elyoya, and EK could have gotten it pretty easy. But uh, I don't know. I can see why Broken Blade didn't get it and Photon did, but there's no world where I can honestly say, oh, I can see why Prince got it and Berserker didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got to think at the end of the day, All Pro, at least in other leagues, I know League of Legends is its own thing, but most salary leagues that have a salary cap and all that and are well established, All Pro is what decides what gets you a max deal.
Yeah.
So
Like
you have
it's
to get All
very
Pro.
and
Yeah,
it's
it's a very big deal.
yeah. That's why I'm trying to give this the absolute severity that it deserves in terms of thinking about it. To
Like, cause
Rico, oh god.
I was gonna say like, if I go down the list, like I don't think any top laner is better than Fudge.
Yep.
I don't think any jungler is better than Blabber.
Nope.
There's probably no mid better than MNS that
As
I
of right
can.
now, no.
I mean, you could maybe try to argue some, but I don't. I wouldn't agree. And then ADC, I think Berserker has reestablished himself as the best, and Sven has passed Vulcan in my mind. Like he just has.
Yeah.
This is one split where he's been working on passing it, and I think he's done it.
Yeah. I'm 100% with you there. The bot
Now,
lane
granted,
the bot lane point is an interesting one of contention because it's like when FlyQuest was winning, it was because of bot lane. When
yep.
C9's winning, it's not because of bot. Like bot Berserker and Sven are cleaning up by all
Uh-huh.
means, but its advantage is made by mid jungle top.
Yep.
So like good that you have them there, but they're not the reason why everything is so dominant. To Rico's point, what if C9 shit in the moment in one of their next two games? Would that change my mind? Absolutely. Yes. Depending on who they lose to, that makes a big difference. And how they lose. Like, if they lose because somebody just absolutely chucks a level 1 and the game's unplayable, then that doesn't mean as much. But if if C9 loses like a close game with a bunch of like bad macro calls or like somebody like really inting a game, then yeah, there's the potential for that to happen. Like
They
nothing's
got
set in stone. It is just like when I say C9, I'm under the assumption that they will win out. But obviously things are fluid. The ballots don't lock until Sunday.
they have Immortals and CLG left.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just not a worthwhile point. Like thinking about, you know what I mean? Because it just doesn't really look
Yeah,
good.
it's kind of a waste of time.
CLG does have moments though, for sure. Like they have moments. They just aren't like I don't know.
The problem is CLG's lows are like really low. Like losing to Dignitas and the way
Man,
that they
C9 just
lost
looks
it.
super hot right now. Like they look on fire. Like I don't know. I don't know. But it is worth mentioning. There's a chance. I just don't see it happening. And then you'd
Yeah.
have to assume that EG curb stomps because Vulcan would have to absolutely pop off to pass Sven at this point.
Yeah. Like he's got a hard carry the last two games to like make a substantial dent in it. There's a world where, C9 shits the bed and FlyQuest or not FlyQuest, Golden Guardians pops up via Gory and Gory retakes over
True.
MNS. Like that's very much possible. Jojo Pina's not getting first all, bro. That's not happening. Just too many bad games to split, even excluding the sick games. Jungle, maybe Spica could take it, but I don't like. There's no world where I feel good putting Spica over Blabber, even if they finish tied in the standings. Whenever Blabber has gotten the absolute best of Spica,
Hmm.
so like, uh,
I think
I
it
don't know.
just is what it is type of situation. Like, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, granted though, this makes league hard though because basketball there's like clear and football there's clear defined roles that some people just don't fill perfectly that others do way better. I feel like in league when you're winning, everyone has to kind of be on top of it.
Yeah. You can't really have any weak links.
No, other than like, I mean, the only example I can think of was Winsome with Fly. I
Yeah.
don't think Winsome was playing like a top one support
I agree.
with FlyQuest. Like it was clear that there were people who could be better than him, but that was so niche, and he's already been replaced. So
Yeah. So I think
yeah,
that's where we stand right now with All Pro. That'll continue to be tweaked as the
you know,
next 2 days go on. Has there been any like league drama info that we need to talk about, like outside of
luckily no. I think it's all fine,
things have calmed down for the most part? It seems
which is
like.
probably for the better.
Yeah, especially going into playoffs, you want everything to just be on the game itself,
Yeah, I
and
like it when it's just sports.
it's kind of nice. Then you got
I
March
mean, the
Madness.
only drama you could think of is the Richard Lewis Monte Cristo Thorn thing that came out.
What on?
TSM.
Oh, oh,
Richard Lewis like dropped this big old article on the FTX deal that
oh yeah, I remember
TSM
that.
did and how Riot like then
Yeah,
banned TSM from showing it, which and then signed with the same company, which was kind of sus. I mean, I read it and I was like, yeah, I'm not surprised.
yeah.
I was like, I mean,
I don't know.
at that although reading it though, it did kind of make me understand a little more why like people have been trying to say that TSM's been trying to go to
To other
other
regions, yeah,
other regions. I mean, that makes sense because at the time, I could totally see if you're an owner of a team and a league does that to you after you did that much for the league in the early days. Like, I could see
yeah.
you getting mad. I could see it,
I agree. I
but I don't think that's really drama. I think that's just like a thing that happened,
yeah. Well, I
and
mean,
I don't. Yeah,
there's really not
it's
much.
not really worth breaking down.
No, because it's just like if Riot cucked them, then Riot cucked them. Like I
Yep.
don't know what like. There's a power balance or power imbalance that exists. Riot is ultimately going to be the end all
I
be
mean,
all.
since the dawn of time, even when Riot had their own employee problems going on, they have been very confident in their investigative team. And if there's any company I know that has a good investigative team, it's them.
To be fair,
Trust me.
they've gone third party now a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
So I
Well, I was just
will.
gonna say their investigative team got to us.
Yeah,
Trust me, it got to us.
I think
They'll
they
get you.
realize that they need to start doing third party investigations rather than just their own
Mhm.
internal shit. Or if it is like internal, it's internal because it's hired by a third party, which, people still fight about the results of those, but at the end of the day, that's as like independent as you can possibly get without getting a governmental
Yep.
body involved. So it kind of is what it is. I don't know.
Other than that,
There was one other thing I was gonna mention. What did we say prior to Monte Cristo? Oh yeah, the C9 Portillo tweet and players not doing
what?
enough. The C9 Portillo tweet, he basically said that like players need to do more. It's not enough to just be a pro player. Like you have to do
Oh,
content and you have to do better at growing your brand. And I don't know what to say other
people have
than
been saying
yeah,
that's
players
jump.
just don't care to.
Yeah.
That's ultimately what it comes down to. And
Well, I
I
mean,
agree.
to be, yeah. What?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say to be fair to players, like, bro, if you're paying me, like in any job, if I show up to your like company, right, and you're paying me, like, I'm gonna do the job. I'm gonna work harder at my craft for the job that I'm mainly being paid to do than anything else. Like, because you got to think like content. You can make your arguments all day about later down the line at their after career They're gonna wish they had a fan base, blah blah blah. But right now, they could get cut if they suck, bro.
Yep.
Like,
That's why I think you like if I'm a org owner, if I'm like Jack or Steve or anybody else, I'm completely overhauling my contract structure.
oh yeah,
Like I'm
yeah,
offering lower base out. I mean, I granted, teams are gonna ultimately be competing against each other, and I would love to see a salary cap like the LPL is introduced. Oh, that's something we have to talk about. Actually, no, we'll bring that. I'll bring that up now because I think it's very relevant to the conversation. Did you see the official details of the salary cap for the LPL?
yeah. It's 4 times less than what Scout was getting yearly, bro.
Yeah, and on top of that, you have one
It's
player.
crazy.
You have one player that is exempt from any sort of like basically what it'll end up
Against
being
the
is
cap.
there's a salary cap limited to 4 people on your team, and one person is exempt. That basically like they're your franchise tag player that you get like
Ah,
exclusive rights to and everything else there
but
that you
only
get.
your team can give him the big contract, so incentivizes him to resign. I see.
Yeah, so like they get first
Okay.
prio on everything prior to
So it's
or
NBA.
yeah, in a way. But then the other 4 players are
Yeah.
subject to this salary cap. So like I love that. I absolutely love that because then it makes like then there's the power dynamic of
Hmm.
the star player can be getting paid 50 times what everybody else on the roster is. But you best believe the level of scrutiny on that player because you are making the big bucks is now 20 times higher. And
I
you are
feel
going to
like
be subject to
yeah.
way more shit than any other player on that team.
And that salary cap is gonna go up quick. I,
It
you
could.
know it is. There's no way big teams are gonna allow this to happen, man. Like lose all their players. You know what I mean? Because this salary cap, like the way it's structured with the four, is like you get a basically 300K per player. So you can negotiate. Maybe if somebody's a little less worth less, you pay them 200. Somebody gets 400 type thing. But at the end of the day, they're all going to be trying to be making as close to 300 as possible. Like at least 300 or more.
Unless you have a
So
super team that everybody's
yeah,
willing to, you
yeah.
have
Which
like you
there's
have like
no way, bro.
you take like
No
you
way.
take 100 thieves that like closers the franchise player like he's making a bunch and you just tell Doublelift, Bjergsen, and Busio, like, hey, look, we're gonna pay you each, or we're gonna pay Doublelift and Bjergsen like
As much as
500K,
they can.
yeah,
Yep.
500K each, and like Tenacity, Busio, like, look, league minimum's 100, we're gonna give you a 115, but if you want to
Yep.
play with these great players, you need to be willing to make that sacrifice at least for the next few years.
You get a rookie
Then,
deal.
yeah, you get a rookie deal, and then you
Yep.
play to raise it so that eventually you get that deal, and they have to cut. Like I love the dynamics of a salary cap. I absolutely love it. And honestly, I pray to God that Riot actually forces this into the LCS in all major regions.
Yeah. I mean, it would make sense, and it would help a ton with like sustainability.
Yeah.
There's so many, like, we need it bad. I mean, there was no reason in the Perks days, in the Sword Art
Oh
days,
no.
why we were dropping that money. And Core JJ, like, is pretty dumb, and this will help with it.
I
And I mean, with Silicon Valley Bank going under, it's gonna be a
yeah,
lot harder to squeeze
they're
these rich boys.
they're getting bailed out though. So,
Yep.
although I did see, I don't know if you know, there's a state rep or there's a congressman from North Carolina, like I think his name's Jeff Jackson, that puts out a bunch of videos on TikTok, like actually like giving
Oh,
behind the
okay.
scenes inner workings of Congress. And he put out what I thought was a really good video. People are gonna obviously lambast it because the banks are getting bailed out. But basically, his point was, and it's very fair, SVB going down was causing a ripple effect that a bunch of
Mhm.
other banks, like smaller and mid-sized banks, were starting to go in the red and close down and enter bankruptcy.
Yes,
And
but
because of
my
that, then
puts.
the bigger banks were buying up everybody, and you were causing more monopolistic practices from the top. So they're bailing out the small and
Yeah.
medium guys that even though they're banks and people are not going to see it that way, you're preventing monopolization by doing it, which
Yeah, but my puts.
I know your puts.
I wanted to do puts, and I was waiting to see what their ruling would be, and they said we're bailing them out, and I literally just went like this. Whoa. And I
Yeah.
went back. No puts.
To
Who cares if the banking sector goes under?
I mean, if the economy goes into a massive recession, everybody's gonna care. You won't. Your job's secure, but for the rest of us, we're in trouble.
Yeah, the worse the economy gets, the more work I have to do. No big deal. Ain't no skin off my back.
Uh, to address Khan's point, they can't force the salary cap without creating a union with the CBA. You're 100% right. That is going to be a
True.
legal requirement that a union must be in existence. Collective bargaining agreement must be agreed upon by all the players in their union and ratified by the LCS. But we are nowhere near the LCS having a legal players union. So we are still a long ways away from that happening, despite how much I want it. Now, what Riot could do is, even though Riot can't force them to unionize, they can kind of backhanded do it in a way. You can basically tell all of the, I don't know, the teams and players that, if you don't if you don't unionize or do whatever you gotta do here, we're basically just gonna strip a bunch of stuff away from you, like take away splits, take away international events, shit. Like, just I don't know. I obviously that's a very bad example because they wouldn't want to pull away their own events, but
Yeah, no, the
it,
first thing
it
they'll take away is the money they give.
yeah, like there's things that you can do to like backhanded basically force them to do it without directly saying like
Yeah.
you need to freaking do this. So
Yeah, they're just gonna pull out money because right now they cover portions of salaries still.
yeah, I think it's like 2 to 3 million per team per year, give or take.
Yeah,
Which
they're just gonna basically go,
yeah, they're
mm,
gonna keep everything to themselves and be like, look, we're profitable now. You figure it out on your own.
yep. Which is insane. Like low
Yeah,
key, terrible what these orgs are kind of getting shafted. I don't
they
know.
are. They
Like,
are. But like how if
and then
you're an
forcing teams to not sell.
I mean that's terrible. Then you're forcing expense on the people, which I guess is technically the same thing we just said. But forcing to sell and like wanting to remove yourself from the situation is definitely different.
Yeah,
But like
they're an interesting group.
the to Khan's point real quick, like having a game developer control the whole scene. The problem is that's always going to be the case. They own the IP. There's no situation where you can have an independent body like do anything. It's not going to happen ever. That's why sports work so well is that nobody owns the IP of football. Anybody can do anything with it if they want to.
Yep.
All right, let's do the sub takes because we're coming up on an hour. Um, I'll read Nick's first for you, and then you can go with Cool's. We'll do both of them tonight.
Okay.
In a hypothetical scenario, you're presented with a choice. Uh, you only have this choice, and this choice alone. You only have this choice and this choice alone to affect League of Legends onwards and forever to grow the scene that is that's a lot of League of Legends. Uh, would you rather choose to more aggressively go after crossover skins and event skins to what Fortnite does, or more aggressively go after celebrity appearances at your Worlds events like MSI and Worlds?
I'm lucky. I gotta read it again to really get it.
So basically, like
Yeah.
if you had a choice, would you rather do like combinations with
Mm.
Little Nas X and like the Empyrean skin line stuff like that, or would you rather do like an Avatar skin line or like a Dragon Ball Z skin line or Rick and Morty skin line in game?
I think the skin lines are honestly better. I think they hit a little harder.
I agree.
I think they're cooler. I think the celebrity appearances at Worlds and stuff, like, I hate to say it because I know you loved this song, but I think this Worlds was the definition of why they're just not working. Not because the song was bad or the guy didn't work or Lil Nas X wasn't putting eyes there. I think that it's not growing the game. Like,
Oh,
I don't think Lil Nas X brought in a ton of people.
never
You
mind.
know what I
I
mean?
think we have different opinions on this. I thought we had the same opinion. I think we have different.
What?
I would rather have independent skin lines and bring in the celebrities. I just think it
That's
has
what
to.
I mean. No, I was saying you have the skin line because I was saying I don't think the independent celebrities is working.
No, no,
We've
no, no,
been
no, no.
doing it.
You're misunderstanding the question. The question is you have the independent skid lines with the celebrities coming in to endorse them, or you have like Rick and Morty, like specific like copyright
Oh,
like skin lines that are partnered with other studios where you're splitting the revenue and doing all that.
yeah, I'm fine with the revenue split idea.
So you would rather have a
Instead
Rick
of the
and
Mr.
Morty.
Beast skin, I'd rather do like uh Avenger skins. You know what I mean?
So you would
Rick and
rather
Morty.
so you would rather have Avenger skins in League of Legends than a unique League of Legends skin line that's cool but never been in the game before with a celebrity promoting it.
Well, I thought he was saying he put Mr. Beast, like Mr. Beast Ezreal. Like he's saying if you have the celebrity, you're getting the celebrity as a skin.
I think his question's a little bit all over the place, if I'm being
It
honest.
is, it is. That's why I had to read it twice. But I'm saying like I'll take studios over the celebrity to dumb it down.
Yeah,
We're
no,
we're
oh
essentially
yeah, no, I agree
studio
with that.
versus celebrity. I'll go studio.
I
But I
I
think you want to use both, no?
I honestly wouldn't want to do either if I'm being completely if it makes sense. I think League of Legends is fashion of its own. I think skin
Agreed.
lines do not have to be tied with anything based in reality, even though you can have nods to it. But I think it's better to have just like I don't know, say I'm trying to think what's
I don't know.
what
Mickey Mouse Timo would be pretty funny.
like KDA is a great example where you have a skin line, but you're then basing something in real life around it,
Hmm.
which helps promote it, and it's organic
Hmm.
to League of Legends rather than just feeling like this branded thing. I think League of Legends universe and lore and creativity is already good enough that you just need to
Agreed.
get better with the events and the integrations. I think the events is the biggest part that's like lacking. Like imagine a world. Do you remember way back when they had like the Darius versus Draven or not Draven, Darius versus Garen event? And you had like the God King Darius and
Mm.
whatever other skin it was. Imagine
Yep.
you have like that event in modern time, but you also just have like this big like you pay like two celebrities to go against each other. You have like Sean Bean versus whoever, and you have like this whole reenactment of it. Like I think like that does better and is more organic for the game and works better for it long term than just the short term cash grab that is putting the Avengers in the game.
Agreed. Yeah, I see what you mean. Because I just meant like my thing with the celebrity side was like it just wasn't. It hasn't been functioning in League too well. Like to have a celebrity hyper involved with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like have like Lil Nas X do everything. I think it's cool whenever you
Yeah.
have celebrities like passively doing stuff with it. Like for example, Selena Gomez was wearing like the Kiana True Damage shirt one time.
True.
Where like
True.
that, but that's not like she's just wearing it. Like it's not this big like oh we want to flash it everywhere. It's like it's cool in passing, and the skin is pretty badass as well.
Yeah. Cause like lately, cause that one I think was the definition of like the League scene also is like Worlds is like an MSI, which are the two events he was kind of talking about, like going to promote them at, aren't really there for like celebrities to kind of do their thing. Like Worlds is kind of a hype event, and I know everyone has their opinion about the song, and I'm not trying to like re-bring up all that jazz. I just
Yeah.
mean it when you put pop to the song sometimes, right? Or you have a celebrity that have the like you brought out Mr. Beast at Worlds. I don't think it's really gonna push people anyway. They're gonna be like, okay, Mr. Beast is here. Can we get to the game that I'm here to watch? This is like the biggest event of the year. I don't need this guy.
Yeah, but
Like,
in that same mind frame though, do you really need the Super Bowl halftime show? Because that has nothing to do with it.
well, the Super Bowl halftime show's promoting something completely nothing with the game. Like nobody watches the game, watches the halftime show.
I mean, I still do, and I watch both. Like, I love
I
the
guess.
hybrid of both. It's the spectacle of the event that makes it what it is, and that's where I
I
think.
don't know anybody who watches it other than women.
Uh,
Like my wife and her
I mean,
friends.
the ratings show that literally almost everybody watches it. It's more watched than the Super Bowl itself.
It's on.
It
I
is
think that's
more
because the
watched than the Super
footballers.
Bowl
I'm
itself.
saying that's because the footballers leave the TV on.
No, you are
One
very you
hundred
have
percent.
no, you have a very
They
jaded
leave
opinion on that. No, that it. I'm telling you because I worked for
people.
CBS and I worked for these companies that help put this on. I'm telling you, everybody watches it.
The
Even the people
halftime show.
yes, everybody
Oh,
watches it. It is arguably a bigger deal than the game itself, but it is enabled by the game itself. So I honestly think like the
yeah.
opening ceremonies for Riot, like I've seen too many people like Monte Cristo and others just be like, why do we even have the opening ceremony? It's like because it makes it a spectacle. That's
Well,
why.
yeah. I like having our opening ceremony. I
But
just
yeah, that's
mean
the
like.
point. But the opening ceremony is meant to do what? The Super Bowl halftime show is a big ad for it was Pepsi, but now Apple Music.
Apple.
And
Yeah.
in this case, luckily, it's MasterCard, but we also don't need any other sponsor. It's literally selling a skin, but you can develop
Hmm.
a whole storyline out of that skin so long as you make it relevant.
Hmm.
This past year, I agree, the story wasn't great. It didn't feel, I don't know, it just didn't feel like above and beyond.
Hmm.
Whereas, like, 2019 will always be my prime example. You have the great in-game stuff with Awaken kicking it off, which is loved by fans. You
Yep.
have uh, the World's Anthem at the end with revealing the trophy out of the trophy case, which brings it back to the event itself. And then in the middle, you just have this amazing skin line. And oh yeah, Becky G, uh, Kiki Palmer, and like a bunch of other massive celebrities are there to help promote it. Like
Hmm.
like that's amazing. Like that makes it bigger than just the finals itself, and the finals is already hyped.
Yep. I just think that like celebrities, you can go that route. It's not. It's gonna end up costing you, and I don't think it gets long-term retention.
For now, it's going to cost you, but if at some point the
I just
event
mean there's no
becomes,
long-term retention. Like,
oh, I think it has benefits. You're selling skins, which gets people to play the game.
yeah, well, maybe. I think those skins would sell themselves.
I don't think they wouldn't sell themselves as much. Like yes,
Cause like
okay.
the
I'm not disagreeing with you. Yes, they would sell, but you're adding, I
yeah
guarantee, 10 to 15% of its total revenue is from that event,
yeah yeah that's true.
and that's worth
Cause
it.
I feel like the branding ones would do way better than a celebrity one-off.
Maybe. I don't know. That's an interesting. I guarantee they know the statistics behind all of this, and
Oh
are
yeah,
making
they
the
have to.
yeah, and they're making
And they're
the
not gonna
appropriate
do
choices
branding
for it.
skins anyways.
No,
Cause I don't think I agree with you. They don't fit in League. Like
no,
League has its own skins,
this
so just when
isn't
it makes sense.
this isn't Smite. Like
No.
Smite's already gone down that rabbit hole, and it just I don't know. It kind of devalues all the skins to a certain extent, in my opinion. I don't know, brings them down a peg.
Yep,
But
I agree.
there's one other topic that Cool brought up that I'm curious to know your thoughts. And we'll keep this one fairly brief because I think this will be a better. This is going to be a topic that will go in depth during the off season after Travis has his interview with Nas and John Needham. But he said my take is that despite average viewership now being below 100K for the LCS, the broadcast is in its best state in years. So what's the learning from this year and what can the LCS do?
To up it or to grow?
Anything. What's the next step?
I mean, I think they need to go back to weekends.
Yeah.
Well, is viewership higher than last year?
No. Not right
Okay, I
now.
didn't think it would be. If it's not, then I think you clearly go back to weekends. This weekday thing isn't working. Um, I think like I don't know. I don't think there's a ton of learning you get from this split because you kind of threw it on weekdays to see the only thing you learned is if weekdays would work or not. Other than that, your content is better, but I don't have time to watch the desk shows in between like I used
Yeah.
to be able to watch them. So I don't know what they're doing. I've just been told it's way better.
It is. Like there's no denying that it's been better.
But I do think our generation is kind of moving away from panel shows
Yeah.
like that, like the on desk stuff. We're just not into that. And the question you always have to ask about the desk is like, what is your actual retention rate? Are people just leaving it on, or are they actually like listening? And I don't think people are actually listening. That's my old Super Bowl halftime debate. I think it's just on, but I
Yeah.
know you think that people are listening. No,
I mean,
I'm joking. But
it's
they're,
definitely
I don't think
doing
they're,
so one thing that was smart that they did that I'm not sure if many people realize, the various
yeah,
different broadcast segments are now clipped out and put as individual like 5-6 minute videos on YouTube and
that
on
is
their
very
various
good.
socials, which is so smart because that's how it should be. Like it's the same thing with podcasting. The way you get podcasting to be big is you have this long form conversation and you get a few 2 minute clips from it, and that's what helps promote it. Same thing with this.
Yeah.
You have these smaller segments besides the games themselves, which really help promote it. So I don't think you can cut out these middle segments like people might want them to do. You need them for promotion, for content, and everything else because we wouldn't get them otherwise. And that helps it really be promoted elsewhere. The to the point of viewership dropping and what lessons we can learn from this year, the lesson to learn is the same thing that I've been preaching all year, in my opinion. That catering to online viewership is going to have no returns whatsoever. Like, there's nothing, like, I don't think it's going to matter at all. Your
Yep.
online viewership's just going to follow a trend that exists elsewhere. And
Yep.
I really, really think it's time to go full DEFCON 4 and hit the road. I'll keep saying that. I think you take the LCS on the road and you constantly have it like on Saturday, Sunday in front of smaller stadiums, smaller crowds. It's just, yeah, DEFCON 3, whatever. Uh, I just think that's the way. Like, I look at the Call of Duty major this past weekend and they get one of those like every other month. And I think if you could get away with doing it more, do it. Uh, but I don't think Call of Duty has the facilities to do so. But you have to get in front of more people and make it
Because yeah,
fun to go to and have the crowds and everything else. Because whenever you just see like, oh, League's this thing that I can occasionally go to like once every 3 years or so, give or
yeah.
take. I don't know. You just lose people.
I
I just
think it's definitely like they they can keep doing the YouTube thing, try to upload and kind of get back what they're maybe people who miss it. I don't know, but it's just like I think the analyst desk just doesn't. I don't know. It's not working.
yeah
Like whatever they've been trying, this year's has been better. I think, like from what I've been told by people, but I don't know what you do because it's just not a format that seems to get people to stick around between games.
yeah.
It's
Also,
definitely missable.
I think you have to change the idea of having your best games first. I'm sorry, but fuck the EU audience. Like I don't care
Yeah.
at this point. Make it UFC style scheduling and put the best game last. Build up to those moments as
Were there a
time
lot of
goes on.
people watching the TSM 100 Thieves game?
I think it was under 100K.
Damn, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. I'm not
Because
100% certain,
that's
but I'm pretty sure it was under 100K.
It's just tough because when you look at what we are, like, compared to LEC, which I know you're not supposed to compare, but
But you're going to.
you have to because they're the only other league to base us off of. We are just so far behind. It's bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you do either because I've been looking at org's content. Org
It's not
content
good.
hasn't really been going up. Like TSM doesn't even TSM gets like 12K on Legends now.
That's sad.
Yeah, like it's just I think it's just kind of done, my friend. On the viewership side, then I think they get
Is he gone? Okay, yeah, Paul's gone. Until he comes back, because it looks like his internet shit the bed again. Uh, we are only behind because we're going against countries, not one but ton. Rico, their population makes up what the U.S. is. That's like saying that's not really a fair take. Their countries are equivalent to our states, and all combined into one region for Europe. Well, I'm not talking about Korea or China. I'm excluding. Okay,
okay.
yeah, you're back now.
No, I was gonna say I think you've tried out your digital audience, like, or you've run it dry to the point where you kind of just have to go with what we've been talking about since I don't know 2 years ago since
Yeah.
starting all this. We've been talking about a roadshow, but you have to do something to try to get it because it's just kind of tough. I don't think we're in a good spot anymore for digitally gaining members. They're getting really outpaced by things like, even though viewership wise they don't hold up to us, but like Apex type games, going on the road a lot, like Valorant's doing a lot of localized events. I mean, both of them are going to quickly overtake us if we don't keep up.
Oh, Valorant's already overtaken us in my mind. It's not even
Yeah.
close. Like it's
I mean, they've
legit.
overtaken us. That's the sad thing. Like EU, China, Korea, they're still doing a great job promoting League of Legends.
And the
But
thing is,
EU is close to come to us if they don't figure it out too.
I mean,
I know.
okay. Well, actually,
And EMEA kind of
I
bails them out.
I should take that back. It is not fair to compare Valorant international events to domestic League of Legends play for us.
Agreed.
And in that case, MSI and Worlds are still smothering the absolute shit out of every other esport that exists. Like it's not even close. But that's because China, Korea, and Europe just absolutely carry it heavily.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think in terms of the domestic NA stuff, yeah, I think Valorant's gonna pass us here soon.
I just looked at C9's League of Legends videos and it's like 17, 25, 15, 13.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's their last four over the past month. So
And Con, I think it is fair to compare the Valorant Americas to LCS. I know you're saying because they have Brazil, but we have every opportunity in the League of Legends ecosystem to consolidate it down to 4 regions if we want to.
well, they just put up that they're looking more into the Spanish broadcast, but
Yeah, I think that's setting
I
up.
I
I
think we
should.
screwed up though. Not more harder going in at the start of making us like a EMEA.
Yeah.
Like that format that EU is doing is very smart. It's gonna work. Like they're really building out their side, but they've already done all the hard work. We're like 6 years behind that.
Oh, so you're saying like for North America,
Yeah, if
you
we
get rid
did
of
a
all the minor regions. You consolidate
just
it
stop
all.
doing North Americas even. Just call it the Americas
Yeah,
at that
just
point.
so have a pure
Yeah.
Americas league, and then
Yep.
have an EMEA underneath that's like 10 teams, or you have an Americas league, and then
Yep.
a Latin America league, and then you have like a tournament that, like, actually, yeah, you're 100. Wow, you're 100% right on that.
Because you could pull. The thing is, you could do divisions. You're gonna have to, because you cannot get rid of Brazil. Like
No,
you cannot quit local Brazil games. But for playoffs, just bring Brazil and Latin America, pick between the three every other year and do a Gold Cup style, I
well,
guess,
no, I mean you just do. You have the
or
LCS, but
Champions
you
League. I don't
expand
know.
it. you expand it to additional teams or 3 additional teams to include
Yeah,
Mexico and what's it called? And then
Brazil.
you allow all of those players to be endemic to the
Yeah, you
Americas
just
region.
can't let CB Lowell go away though.
No,
It's so valuable.
CB Lowell becomes a
Oh,
minor
I see
region.
what you,
Like or a minor region within like EME or like the same way that like
but they can get to Worlds.
no, because
I don't think you can do
their
that.
players are all going to be consumed in North America.
I don't want to do that though because I don't want to kill Brazil.
But you're not killing Brazil. Like I legit think about it. The LFL's doing fine, aren't they?
All
And
right,
they
yeah.
don't
How's their viewership? Is it still crazy?
yeah, phenomenal.
Okay.
And they don't get a spot to Worlds.
Honestly, what would be more interesting than anything is what. So hear me out. It would be weird. I don't know how Riot would pass it, but you could let the top 2 teams from the Latin America's group league under league, right? So I'll just call them under leagues for quick. Latin America one, and then the CB Lowell one. You let their top 2 teams come play in our playoffs in summer to try to go to Worlds or to
Yeah,
MSI in
and
spring.
basically just have it be like one massive like Worlds qualifier tournament.
Yeah, yeah, for the 3rd spot. There you go.
Oh, okay. So Charlie said that's apparently what PCS and OCE are doing.
Okay.
So yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
That's fine then.
So yeah, we just helped a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, honestly though, like if I have my choice, you would do what Valorant is doing. Like if I have direct control over it,
Yeah.
it's one America's League that each region is given a certain percentage of teams, and then that can change as time goes on. And then
Yep.
you have the individual regions that qualify into like an Ascension style tournament. Like I, I don't want to go into this any further other than just saying I would directly copy Valorant's partnership structure with League of Legends, uh, domestic play, and international formats.
Because I mean,
And
granted, is the Brazilian team gonna win a lot in our playoffs? Probably
no,
not.
but some of their players might get picked up on our teams if they're residents.
Yep. And they're not. It's. I don't see how it would hurt us. Like to let them come play in our playoffs. I mean, could you imagine if a Brazilian team did make a dream run?
Oh, dude,
How insane it would be! It would be awesome.
no,
It'd be awesome.
I
Like,
don't, I don't know.
I guess it could hurt them. I don't see how it hurts them though, because
Yeah, they're getting more exposure. At the end of the day, that's all that matters.
yeah, their leagues are still gonna do exactly what you said. Like,
They're still gonna do fine. They're like, there's pride in those countries that it would mean a lot.
I
And
don't think I don't think CB Lowell though. You don't have to break up CB Lowell if you do what we said.
yeah, and
Like, they're just a under league that feeds into us.
imagine an EMEA system where you have North America facing off against Brazil against that. Hell, you could even well, I don't think we're in a position to separate Canada and the US right now. I think that will forever
No.
remain entangled. But you just have like North America versus Brazil versus LATAM. And you just have the 3 and the 3 get like 3 or 4 teams each into like a smaller tournament. I think
Yeah.
that'd be great. Anyways, cool. Really good take. And I think it's on that, honestly, if Riot has shown anything over the last few years, even though, like, I know, well, not last few years, this year, it's that they're willing to change shit up and try new shit. The biggest thing that I just hope, again, if I had my say, I hope Dignitas sells their spot to Mr. Beast. And I hope Riot buys back the Immortal slot and then has it as a reward for amateur teams, or it's like, you know, an Ascension style tournament with Valorant, where one group of guys from the premier mode or whatever you want to call it in League of Legends, uh, auto qualifies for the
Hater.
LCS.
You wait.
Yeah, I can't wait for Moose Hater Garen on the LCS stage. It's gonna be great.
Moose Hater comes and just dominates. Gets on LCS stage in the glory spot.
Yep. Anyways, I do
Can
gotta end
we-
this. Oh god.
Oh, I was just gonna end it with I get what people mean. I'm just finishing off the last one
Yeah, go
because
ahead.
they were saying what if it killed CBLOL viewership if they failed here. The thing is, CBLOL viewership is keeping up with us, and they lose at Worlds way harder than we do. So if their viewers haven't given up and we have, then
Yep.
clearly they will not go away.
No,
I don't think them, yeah, losing to us would kill them.
it's just pride. Like they have pride and
Yeah.
we don't. We're a torn country that
Yeah.
that's not worth getting into. But all right.
Because,
Uh,
well, you wait until Moose Hater Garen reunites America.
watch it. Is he American or is he Canadian?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
America's. There you go. I added the S.
They're
It's
not even.
fixed. They're North American.
Hold up.
Damn it.
Moose hater. LOL.
Canada's one of us. They're a North American country.
They are, but
They're exactly like us.
okay. So
They pushed indigenous people into unlovable land just like we did.
oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Moose hater is American. Okay. And with that, we will catch you all later. I need to get this exported and ready to go up on YouTube. So, any final words for the people, Paul?
Not really. I've given up. Carolina's broken me, to be honest, sports wise.
My
I can't even act like I love my teams.
my only word to everybody is just don't say I didn't tell you so. If 100 Thieves 3-0s and gets that first round bye, just remember that I called it.
You would have
That's all.
called it regardless.
Actually, no, I was very close to considering just calling the 2-1 and being honest.
Oh.
So,
Remember your infamous 9-0 take?
nope. And with that, we end it. Adios, everybody. Have a good night. Bye bye.